Welcome to the Mulligan Menace. Today we are playing Budget Selesnya Saga. This whole deck is based around all the different sagas that have been released. We can go through them. We have the Welcome to Sweet Tooth Saga. This allows you to create 1/1 human creature, create a food token, and then put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the amount of food is 1 plus the number of food you control. We have the Choco Mog, gives all your creatures +1/+0. We have Princess Takes Flight, exile up to 1 target creature. Fenrir, that's a classic one. Everyone loves this one in green decks. We also have the Primal Gruda. This one deals 4 damage to target tap creature, and then it also gives +1 and flying to a target creature. And then we also have the Fat Chocobo on that top. We only have one of those in the deck. But the idea around this is we don't anticipate to want to have to put all the counters on this. We actually want to remove the counters so that we can reuse them. Creature Garnet, Princess of Alexandria. For a green and a white lifelink, when it attacks, you may remove a lore counter from each of any number of sagas you control. Put a +1/+1 counter on Garnet for each lore counter. Remove this way. Obviously, having multiple sagas is huge with this, but even if you have something as simple as a princess on the battlefield and you attack in, you drop this, you put the lore counter, you exile one of their creatures. You then can take the lore counter off, which means next turn when you put a lore counter on, you're going to exile another one of their creatures. And you can do that every turn that Garnet attacks. So the big thing is you want to get a little bit of an evasion here, want to kind of protect her. You can do that with some Shelter by Ghost. Also, you have the Scavenger here, early drop, and then whenever you're dropping any of your sagas, you can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Obviously, she is a very good spot to put the +1/+1 counters on, as well as given it has lifelink, so you're going to gain a lot of life doing so. They do have other cards in here, like we do have a one of Seam Rip, really good early on with like a mono red deck. We do have a Clash of Icons in here, or Eakins, and for 1 green, you can actually do quite a bit. You can target creature you control fights target creature your opponent controls. You remove a lore counter from target saga you control, or you can put a lore counter on a saga if you really want to on that. Really comes in handy with the different sagas that you have, so really you can play into it however you want. Obviously, the removal factor of this is really big for that. Shelter by Ghost, classic, we have 4 of. It works out really well because it's also an enchantment, so it helps out with the Scavenger. Even early turn play with the Scavenger and the Ghost is very good. And then I think that's pretty much everything that we talked about. Oh yeah, we have the Kutzil Malamut Exemplar. It's a 1 colorless green-white. Your opponent can't cast spells during your turn, which is huge. Whenever 1 or more of your creatures you control, each with power greater than its base power, deals damage to target player, draw a card. You can just imagine almost all of these cards kind of get some kind of a benefit with that. So Scavenger, you're going to be getting those +1/+1 counters. You can put that on other creatures as well. Same with the Princess. She's going to get those +1/+1 counters. Also, Fenrir gives a +1/+1 counter. Your Take Flight gives the +2. This gives the +1. This gives a +1. So you're going to have a lot of these modified creatures that are going to allow you to draw cards. So don't forget about that. Definitely want to get this on the battlefield so that you can draw those cards. Don't be afraid to even tack in because you're going to be making it up in card draw. Even the Chocobo has some benefit there to modify stuff for that. So definitely a lot of stuff going on here. It is an interesting deck to play for a budget deck. I am shocked. I was actually playing this in Platinum, and it was really competitive for the most part. So let's get in some gameplay here, but first, please hit that subscribe button below. It really helps with the channel. I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so I appreciate all your help with that. I do that just a couple subscribers at a time, so please hit that if you want to see the latest videos, and please comment below if you like these budget series, and tell me what kind of decks you'd like to see in the future. I'd like to see your comments about the budget series that I got going on. Otherwise, let's get into the gameplay. All right, we go first. We do have a lot of land in hand here, but let's hope we draw into something. Do our tap land to start with. We will drop Garnet. We do hope that we draw some. Not another Garnet. We were hoping we would draw into some of our lures. Alright, that's one of them. Do they want to kill our creature is the question. They're going to be looking for some removal, I think, here. We can keep going wide with this. Well, I think we're going to do this. It's going to pump up. This has first strike trample. Let's just get this out. It's actually a pretty good turn here. We can attack with this. So we will go attack just with that. It will get +1/+1. They won't block, but then we can fight it. Do a draw a card too. Man, we got a lot of those guys. Alright, fight. We can choose multiple. Unfortunately, we don't have more lures. We'll just do that. They're kind of dead cards in our hand right now. We're going to see if they're going to remove one. Ooh. Hey, we're gonna have a pretty good attack here. 10 damage here next turn. Look at this. Good game. Alright, and a mulligan. Just didn't have any land in last hand, but this one we actually have a pretty good start here. We're going to keep this. We do have to return one card. You kind of want to keep it all. This is pretty strong. You know what? Let's get rid of one of the lands. We'll risk it here. Alright, I will shelter that so we can... Okay, never mind. Just so I can get some larger creatures, I will do it this way. And I can shelter that one. Worked out pretty good. Make that really big here. And a lot of life. We do have that second shelter, which I will drop on that. Okay, we're going to put it on the same thing just so they can't remove this, but we will actually that. All right, good game. All right, let's look at this. We do have a tapped land to start with. Don't have any cheap creatures. We actually want to mulligan that. We need to get lower casting cost creatures. Here we have a creature. We also have Princess Take Flight, so that is a solid 1-2 to keep removing this. I can keep exiling. Yep, we'll keep that. We will remove... Oof. You know what? We'll actually get rid of this because the Shelter by Ghost will actually make it really hard for them to get rid of. Alright, got that down. We're going to get our... Princess down. Hopefully they don't remove it. We will shelter next turn. Okay, we want to get rid of that. And then on top of that, we are going to fight. Attack in. Alright, next turn we can exile a creature. Unless we want to put another ward on. I'm going to put another ward on here since they don't have a creature to go in with. Now we can kind of lock them out here. Ooh. We'll just keep attacking in. Oh, let's play that. A little wide here. Good game. All right, let's take a look here. We do have a good turn 1, turn 2 play. Hopefully we can get an untapped land coming in here. Because this is actually going to be pretty solid. Keep it. Going first, that's... Optimist on turn 1 is always a good thing in this deck. Alright, we'll drop the Optimist, Scavenger. See if they have a turn 1 play. Maybe like an elf or something. Mono red. Something. Alright. We will shelter. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, I'm not sure. I want to put that on this creature. Take that creature. Game it. Alright. We do want to get one land that's untapped, so we can start removing. Creature you control does 1 damage to target. Okay. Well, let's get rid of this thing. Roll our thing, exile their creature. Just making it harder for them to kill it. We'll be able to draw a card next turn with the Exemplar. If they don't block. That's fine. That's flying too. That's nasty. We get untap land, we can cast our Chocobo. Good game. Alright, opponent does go first, but we do have the Garnet. If they can't remove it, we do have that awesome Princess Takes Flight trick, so we will take it. And we do have two of them, unfortunately. Oh, they're burned, so that hurts. Let's actually start the Seamer about that. I fully expect the Garnet to face... Oh, they're Boros too. They started the game with 3 higher claws. Keep that in mind. Alright. Get the princess out. Do they have removal? Oh. I think we're going to do this. Allows us to target because they can block with it otherwise. We'll attack in, and this will grow. Yes, we're going to remove the lore counter. This will allow us to exile a creature next turn. Got to show off. He's going to attack this turn with it. Unfortunately... Ooh. It would be really nice to be able to cast our card, but I think this is what we gotta do. This will out. We will put a forest in play. We will attack. We'll counter off of there. We are gaining life, which is great. We can do 4 damage. So he's got another shelter. He's going to take our lifelinker. If we draw a land, we can get our Garnet back. Alright, what do we want to do here? Probably block? Gets our creature back. And that then allows us to drop this. Deal 4 damage there. Good game. All right, that is a interesting and neat deck to play for this. It is a very powerful deck. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was in Platinum in ranked games, but man, the versatility of this deck is really surprising. I'm not gonna lie though, the first 4 games I flew through really was killing people like crazy. And then I just was having so much problem with land. The rest of the time, I was either only had 2 land or I was drew 7 in a row. It just seemed like there was no in between for multiple games in a row. Definitely frustrating for that, but that's the variance in Magic. But definitely seeing a lot of great gameplay at the beginning. Unfortunately, land screw definitely happens in this. But definitely think this is a great deck to play. I highly recommend crafting this one. I don't think you're going to be wasting your wild cards on this because it is a competitive deck. Has a lot of different versatility in the way you can play the game. It is fun, it's competitive. What more can you want out of a budget deck? All right, please hit that subscribe button below. I know I talked to you earlier about doing that, but really does help out. I am putting out new content each day. And like I said earlier, I want to hear what kind of budget decks you want to see in the future, so comment below. Have a fantastic day.